Year 7s, welcome to your second trombone lesson. Today we'll be learning all about the slide. We'll be learning how to start a note using our tongue and also how to play and read our very first note. As well as all of that, we should recap on some of the things we did last lesson, such as putting our trombone together and holding it. So when you're ready, clear a space, get your case safely on the floor and join me to put our trombones together. Okay, when you're ready, Year 7, we're going to put our trombones together. So the first bit of our trombone that we picked up was the slide. I'm sure you all remembered. So here it is, the long thin bit, and remember we want the two holes pointing towards the ceiling. And I just wanted to show you a little bit closer what that slide lock looks like. So if you can see, there's a thin bit of metal there, and then this bit of metal just hooks around and prevents the slide from falling. And remember, that's really important so we don't damage our trombone. It's exactly the same thing on the P bone. Okay, so we've got our slide, have the tallest tube nearest you, and then find your mouthpiece. And that's just going to sit nice and gently in the smaller of the holes. And the last bit that we need is the bell. Remember, grab near to the bell so you've got a good hold on it. And you're going to put that on the other tube, left of the other tube. So we're creating this like square shape, or even if it's a little bit closer, like a V shape. If your hand was a little bit uncomfortable last week, you might want to try that. This is the point where you need to check that you haven't put it on the other way around, so the bell isn't to your right. If it is, just loosen the screw again, move it round to your left, tighten the screw, and then we've got our trombone together again. Okay, so holding it, let's go over that as well. Let's make our shape with our hand. That's a bit like the video controller. We're putting our thumb onto this bar here next to the bell, and it's grabbing round so you've got hold of the slide, the first bar on the slide. So you've got good grip on it. Then your right hand is going to hold this second bar of the slide, and you lift it up to your face, hovering above your left shoulder. And there we go. Rest position. A bit like in sport, it's always a good idea to warm up on your musical instrument. I like to warm up with buzzing on the mouthpiece like we did last week. So we're going to give that another go today. So remember some of the things that we spoke about. Using the corners of our mouths to control our face and our buzz. Buzz our lips together. And really importantly, breathe. So take a big breath and blow out, and we use that image of blowing out candles on a 99th birthday cake. You can make it 100th birthday if you like today to give it a little bit more air. So we're going to try that. What we're going to do is breathe in for 4 beats and then buzz out for 4 beats. And I'd like us to do that 3 times in a row. And really importantly, make sure when you breathe in through your mouth, not your nose, okay? So just have your trombone in rest position, and with one hand bring your mouthpiece up to your face, and as soon as I start counting, we're going to start breathing in. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Lovely. Good job, Year 7. just wanted to take a moment to recap on some of the good and bad ways to hold our trombone when we're playing. We spoke last week about making sure the screw is tight enough so this isn't falling apart and making it harder for us. Also about holding our trombone up in play position without our elbows going up or without twisting the trombone so it's not blocking the view of our music, which we will need. As well as those things, I'd also like you to think about the word posture this week. So that means basically how we hold our bodies when we're standing or sitting. And you can do either of those when you're playing your trombone. Either is absolutely fine, but you must make sure that you're doing it in a good way so that we can play to the best of our ability. So either if you're standing or sitting, you need your feet flat on the floor, no cross legs, okay? And then your spine just wants to be straight, not slumped over. Obviously that's a bit more common if you're sat down in a chair. And then lastly, just your head balanced nicely on the top of your spine, not bringing your neck down as you play. If we do all those three things, we should be able to breathe properly and make a good sound out. Great, now we have good posture, we're ready to use our slide. So as I mentioned last week, the slide is just one way in which to change the notes, but obviously it's very important. And when people see me play the trombone and they don't know how it works, they're amazed. They always ask, how do you know where to put your slide? And it's actually a little bit more straightforward than it maybe looks. So the word I need you to get familiar with is positions. So we talk about positions when we talk about the slide because it's where we stop our slide to play different notes. And there are 7 positions in total. So what I would like you to do is unlock your slide and bring your trombone up to play position. Now we're not going to blow down it right now, we're just going to have a go at finding the 7 different positions. I like to think of them as stops for a bus, so you've got 7 different stops. And last week when we played our trombone, we had our slide completely closed and we were in first position, okay? So there we are, first position. I'd like you to move your slide, make sure you've got a good grip on this bar of the slide, and move it in between the bell and first position. So there's our bell, I've got my bar about in between. This is our second position. Now, let's move it a little bit further. So we're just in front of the bell with our bar. And there's our third position. Let's move it again. So we're after the bell. Here's our fourth position. Let's move it a little bit more, just a bit. And there's our fifth position. Let's put our arm out basically straight now to sixth position. And then just stretch a little bit further and we'll have seventh. And if we stretch any more, the slide's going to come off. So really be careful with that. Bring it back to first. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. So first position, closed. Second position, in between first and the bell. Third position, just before the bell. Fourth position, just after the bell. Fifth position, a little bit more, still got a bit of a bend in my arm. Sixth position, arm is straight. Seventh position, all the way out. Great, bring your slide in, lock your slide and go to rest position. Now some of those slide positions we will become really familiar with because we'll be learning a lot of notes in certain positions to begin with. Other ones we might not use for quite a while, so don't worry if you forget some of them. Every time we have a new note, we'll of course go over the slide positions. Now it's time to have a look at our first note. So last week I got you to copy back to a note that I was playing. That's the note that we'll be going over today. And that note is called note F. Here it is. Some of you may already be familiar with the fact that we use letters to name our notes in music. We only use letters A to G, and on trombone we're starting with note F. So there's a few things going on this page. First, we've got these 5 lines going across. This is called our stave. It reminds me of like a hand, so you've got 5 lines and then our 4 spaces in between as well. And the round thing is our note, and it is sat on the 4th line from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4th line, and that's how we know it's F. And then lastly, we've also got this lovely curly sign with 2 dots. This is called our bass clef, and we will get quite used to seeing that at the beginning of our music. Right, let's have a go at playing it. Right, let's give F a go. So first of all, I'm just going to let you have a go actually blowing down the trombone today, seeing if you can get that F. So think about same thing with the buzzing, using the corners of our mouths, buzzing our lips together, making that raspberry sound, and taking a big breath through your mouth and blowing out like you've got to blow out 100 candles today. So I thought I'd show you it on the P bone, give a bit of difference. Have a listen, and then I'd like you to have a go yourself and just see if you can get this note. So here is our note F, and I should say we are in 1st position, so our slide is all the way in. Right, play position, have a few goes. Great, rest position year 7. So today I'm going to give you one extra thing to think about, and that's using our tongue when we play. So first of all, can you just say the word to for me? Lovely. Now, I'd like you to say the same thing again, but this time don't use your voice, just get the t sound. And instead of using your voice, we're going to blow air. So we're going to go. Try that with me, year 7. Here we go, take a breath in. Great. So we use our tongue to start notes on brass instruments so that they begin nice and clearly, okay? And I'd like you to try just exactly what you did then. Just add that onto everything else you were thinking about and see if you can start the note like this. So my tongue is coming to the roof of my mouth to get that t sound, and then I'm blowing. Play position, have a few goes at that for me. Good, rest position. Okay, so we're going to try using our tongue and copying back on note F, okay? So I'm going to put some music on, and we'll do the same thing that we did last week. So 1 bar for me with 4 beats in it, and then I want you to copy back exactly what I do. Okay, play position. Me first. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7. Fantastic. So let's just check in and make sure that we're all getting that same note. As we spoke about last week, you could be getting a different note to me, but still in first position. So if you don't think you're getting the F, let's go over some of the other sounds. So it might be that you're getting a lower sound. If that's happening, think about your lips buzzing together a little bit more, and that you're blowing the air like the cake's got further away. It's almost like you're having to blow faster to get the air to the cake while buzzing your lips. That should hopefully make the sound go a bit higher. If you've got the opposite problem and you've got a higher note, remember, relax. Just blow almost slower, so you're not having to work so hard to get that high note. Another thing we mentioned was the hamster face. Use these muscles here to control that. All the air needs to be going down the trombone, not your cheeks. And lastly, another thing that I thought occasionally happens is that I found students using their voice, going, and that's definitely not what we're doing when we're playing the trombone. So if you think you're doing that, don't panic. Just try and stop your voice from making any sound and concentrate on making the sound with your lips instead. Good job. So if you thought, actually, I was getting my F, it was going really well, then just keep thinking about using your tongue and that to sound. Let's have another go at some more copy back, give you a bit more chance to get used to our F. This time I'm going to do 2 bars for me and 2 bars for you. So just to give you a little bit longer to copy back. All right, here we go. So my turn first. I'll give you a cue when it's your turn. 1, 2, 3. Your turn. Great, rest position. Fantastic, Year 7. Hopefully F is starting to feel a little bit more normal now. And next week we can start another note to go with it. Wow, well done Year 7, that's fantastic. Good job with your Fs, good job using your tongue. Well done for taking all those slide positions in and thinking about our posture, all really important things. So all that's left to do today is to put our trombone away. First, let's check that slide lock. And then we can take our mouthpiece out, put it back wherever you found it. Carefully unscrew your bell and your slide. And then just pull them apart. By the way, if you ever feel like you're having trouble pulling it apart, just twist it a bit and that really helps. Bell back into your case. And then slide. And there we go. Well done Year 7. I look forward to seeing you for lesson number 3 soon.